Hey, Shalom, Malcolm Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. I would like to give double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and also teaching this truth. And much peace, love, and salutation to the elect, beginning with the 144,000 all the way down to the large multitude that believes and who the Lord will deliver in these last days. To you all I say Shalom. I'm the brother Tazamah from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, coming back today with another lesson, and Lord willing, today's lesson will be edifying and to the point. And I wanted to do a video on I want to do a video on a video that was done by Elder Yashawamba, Remnant Save 144. He had did a video, News and Prophecy, Sedition is in the Air. And the elder was playing a bunch of clips, of just particular things going on surrounding this presidential election, which, this presidential election between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris is going to be, if not, it's not going to be, if not the most, one of the most, which I believe is going to be the most controversial. It's going to be one of the most controversial presidential elections of all time. If not, like I said, if not the most controversial presidential election of all time, because we're in a time right now in prophecy where civil war is brewing up. You have a bunch of opinions being, you have a bunch of opinions and feelings that are being pulled and heightened in here in these last days. You see, because the Lord is ultimately getting ready to destroy Babylon the Great. You see, and just like ancient Rome, which I have something pulled up as well, but just like in ancient Rome, before ancient Rome fell, there was a lot of sedition that was amongst the Romans. You see, in the fall of Rome. And whenever you read in the scripture, it says that there will be it says that there will be sedition among men. All right, let's get that scripture in Second Ezra real quick. This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 15. Let me actually read this in the let me actually read this in the GNT real quick here. Second Ezra 15 in the GNT. All right, because we had a time right now where these last prophecies is getting ready to come to pass, and the one major prophecy that we know is getting ready to come to pass is going to be the mandatory implementation of the MOTB, which is the micro CHIP. All right, written about in Revelation, the 13th chapter, and they need the proper events to take place, whether it be a order out of chaos, a particular terrorist attack, quote unquote, to happen amongst the amongst the states here, and then claim everybody to be a domestic terrorist. They have they have an agenda and they have a plan. Okay, this is Second Ezra chapter 15 verse 14. Once again, this is in the GNT. It says the world and the people in it are doomed. The war that will bring their destruction is very near, and that war they're talking about is talking about World War III. Okay, and when it says the world and the people in it are doomed, this doesn't mean that the world is ultimately just going to blow up. Remember, the scripture says that Esau is the end of the world, meaning at the end of an age. All right, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. All right, so in the midst of with World War III ensuing, you have these different weaker nations saying that they're strong. You see, you have, like I said, you have inner turmoil taking place here amongst Babylon, as the scripture says. Yahweh Shai said it. He said that a kingdom that's divided against itself cannot stand. Okay? It says the war that will bring their destruction is very near. Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations, and we're seeing that happen right now. Are you having the weak saying that they're strong? You have a lot of these. You have a lot of these smaller nations that are looking to Russia, to be in league with them. It says there will be great political. It says there will be great political turmoil, with one group trying to overpower another and gain control. And that great political turmoil that we see is between the right and the left. All right, between the liberals and between the conservatives. All right, between the Democrats and between the Republicans. You see, and you got these dumbass Americans out here really truly thinking that their vote matters, and that their vote, is going to be the one that's going to be the best option for a sinking ship. And here it is. Both of the candidates that are going up are heathen, and they're nothing, and they don't have anything good to go for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. I mean, you jakes. You see, but they'll use they'll use the likes of these actors and these entertainers, like you see here. I just voted. Don't tell us what to do with our coochies. This is Sexy Red saying this. And you already know who she voted for. She voted for Kamala Harris. Look at this madness, man. I just voted. Don't tell us what to do with our coochies. And this is the whole thing going in on the whole deletions of children. If y'all can catch my drift. You see? And who else did Kamala Harris bring out? Kamala Harris brought out Quavo. She brought out Megan Thee Stallion, Beyonce, Barack Obama. You know, you had last year, you had Cardi B that pretty much stated that she was done voting, you know. But here it is now, come to find out, now she's endorsing Kamala Harris. Why is that? Because they trying to lure you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans back in. And when you go into this whole voting, this whole election and the whole thing of voting, it's really going into the sacrifice to another god, man. If you get the word vote, which the elder brought this out in the lesson, but I'll get it here too. Vote, it says formal expression of one's wish or choice with regard to a proposal, candidate. From Latin votum, a vow, wish, promise to a god. You see that? So to vote, it's a promise to a god, and the Lord didn't set up voting. Okay, Yahweh Basham Shah didn't set up us to be voting for another president. You see? Now you'll have these wacky-tacky Christians that'll try to sit here and tell you Romans the 13th chapter and obeying authority and things of that nature, but it doesn't have anything to do about, you know, selecting a president. Okay, it says from Latin votum. It says a vow, wish, promise to a god, solemn pledge, dedication. You see, to promise or to dedicate, but the key is what? Promise to a god. You see. And the God of this world, let's get that scripture real quick. It says that the guy whom the God of this world blinded the minds of them, 2 Corinthians 4 or 1 Corinthians 4. Get that real quick. Yep, this is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3. It says, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. And who are the lost ones? The lost ones are 2/3 of our people here in America, man. You see? They're completely lost and completely blinded at the fact that Esau Edom, the so-called self-proclaimed white man, he is duping you all. And he's setting you up to be slaughtered, man. He's like the scripture says, it says, feed the flock of the slaughter, man. You literally are like sheep being led to the slaughterhouses, man. Okay? And I was watching the elder Mike Allah out there in LA. You know, he had did he had put a small short video up like 4 minutes long. And he was showing a video of you pretty much have these Edomites that are getting prepared for civil war, man. Stockpiling all up on ammo, you know, going to the gun ranges, you know, and they have Jake, you know, they had Jake at the shooting range. You know how you have the torso where it shows you where you're shooting, whether it be the head, shoulder, so on and so forth. But I want to say it was in Georgia. You had a firing range that got put under fire pretty much. When I say under fire, that pretty much what I'm saying is that they got put underneath the scope. All right, because they had the not the receptacle, but you know what I'm talking about, the frame where you shoot at. It was a Jake. It was a Jake dude, a so-called black man. You see, and they caught flack pretty much like, yo, why y'all got an image of a so-called black man up there? And y'all over here having these Edomites doing fire lessons. Why do you think that's the case? You see, because the Lord is getting ready to crank these devils up to a whole nother notch. And that ancient hatred, like it says in Ezekiel, the 35th chapter, is getting ready to be shown on a mass scale. Okay, the Lord is sharpening his sword. And who is the Lord's sword? The wicked, the Edomites, man. And they're going to really show you. They're really going to show you how much they love you. You see? You Jakes, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans always want to be the first ones to try to fight for the love and fight for the acceptance of your enemy. But here it is, very soon, he going to show you that he don't accept you. You see? So it says, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, to whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not. You see that? Who's the God of this world? Okay, the God of this world is talking about the Edomites, man. Particularly the Elites. All right, that's what we're talking about. The powers that be. These high level banking families that are ruling the world in the corruption and deceit and mischief. The top 1%. You see, because even though you got a small percentage of individuals who are ruling the world, and they own every facet of every corporation and every facet of your being here in America. So-called religion is being is operated by these elite banking families, man. So-called religion, the public school system, the food that you eat, the media that you watch, the music that you hear, the upcoming of the upcoming and raising of your children, the how a family structure is deemed here in America, even though it's completely backwards. You know, who's the head and who's the tail in the household? Who's the head in the house? You know, you're supposed to work. You're supposed to go to school, go to college, get a degree so that you can just become a better slave. That's who's operating this world. That's the God of this world. It says, to whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them. And that light has to be shown unto you through the Spirit, man. You see, the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai has to open the blind eyes for you to be able to see. That's why the scripture says that the election hath obtained it, and the rest the rest of Israel they're going to be blinded, man. You see, that's why you have the likes of things like this, Sexy Red. You know, I just voted. Don't tell us what to do with our coochies. You see, but this is a role model amongst the black community, the so-called black community. This is a role model here. You see, for our women, for our young women growing up. You see, whether you're so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, this is a leader of our community. And this is another leader of our community, a person that has absolutely no idea what the hell is going on. You know, you got people that will sit here and say, I'm voting for Kamala Harris because she's black and she's a woman, even though she's not even a Jake. You know what I'm saying? She's really a heathen. You see, but I'm voting for Kamala Harris because she's a woman and she's black. But, you know, people don't got nothing to say about that. But let somebody say, oh, well, I'm voting for Donald Trump because he's white. It will be complete madness going on, man. Man, look at these, man. This shit crazy. You know? But what I want to do, I'm sorry, wait. Oh yeah, I was reading this. Let's go back here, Salakia. Because I got that word vote. I'm just rolling in the spirit on this one too. So it says, verse 16, it says, there will be great political turmoil, with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government. That's why you have a lot of uproars in the people nowadays, man. You have these voter boxes being put on fire. You got all kinds of news coming out about particular ticket fraud. When I say ticket fraud, what I mean is that people going in there and forging election votes. You know, you got people fighting at the election booths. You know, so people are on edge, man. You know, people are already pissed off that, you know, the dollar isn't going as far as it is. You know, they're already pissed off that how everything's more expensive. You know, like I said, people are divided about opinions. You know. So the Lord is bringing a spirit of division amongst this place, man. And what did Yahweh Shai say? He said, "Think not that I'm come to send peace. I have not come to send peace, but a sword." And what does a sword to do? A sword divides, man. Okay, so you're gonna have a lot of people who are going to be divided here in these last days, as the prophecy said would happen. You see. Now, let me see if there's any more of this. Right, let's actually just continue. Verse 17, it says, there will no longer be free access to the cities because the struggle for power will bring destruction. Let me read that again. There will no longer be free access to the cities because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live, man. You see, because with these, with this election, we truly believe that civil war is going to be incited behind these elections. That's why they made these movies. They recently had a movie that came out called Civil War. You see, and you have a lot of these particular militia groups gearing up. Pretty much saying like, man, look, if Kamala Harris wins, we gonna storm the Capitol, man. We're gonna go up to DC, and there's gonna be demonstrations and things of that nature. And then you're gonna have a lot of agent provocateurs out there inciting the emotions of people. You're gonna have provocateurs inciting quote unquote racial crimes. You see, it's gonna be complete anarchy, man. Now, am I saying that it's gonna be anarchy on Tuesday? No, we don't know if it's gonna be on Tuesday or not, but we do know and believe that this is gonna just bring forth more division and ultimately incite a civil war. Okay, and that's gonna cause the cities to be locked down. You see, but that's what the elite want. That's what they want. They want to bring order they want to bring forth more chaos and more confusion so that they can bring forth more draconian order and draconian measures out of it to further lock you down, to further have you to further enslave you, man. That's what it's all about. Because the last point's going to be that micro C-HIP, and they're going to need a big event in order to really usher this in to make it mandatory worldwide, man. Okay. Now, when you read, I did this, and I'm gonna get this article here in a second, but this is Chat GPT, and I put this in here today. I said, and which I already knew, but I just wanted to see of the detailed answer that it gives. It says, was there sedition in Rome before it fell? It says, yes, sedition and political instability were significant factors in Rome before its fall. Now, we understand and know, those of us that are in the know, we understand that we are in Rome all over again. You see, that other little horn, all right, which is America, is an extension, all right, of the Roman Empire. NATO and the EU and that Horai and the beast is an extension of the Roman Empire. Here being it said that it had a deadly wound in its head. It had a deadly wound, but it was healed. You see? So it says, yes, sedition and political instability were significant factors in Rome before its fall, particularly in the latter years of the Roman Empire. It says the period leading up to the fall of Rome was marked by numerous instances of sedition, rebellion, and internal conflict, which undermined the strength and unity of the empire. A kingdom that's divided against itself cannot stand. You see? Here it is. You got the quote unquote the United States of America, but everybody's divided. Everybody is against one another. How do you have unity in that? How do you have strength in that? You see, it says military rebellions and usurpations. It says the Roman Empire experienced frequent power struggles and civil wars as generals and regional governors would rebel against central authority. And you're going to have a lot of these members of these alphabet services, the FBI, CIA, so on and so forth. You're going to have a lot of these individuals who are internal, who are going to end pretty much turn, man. They're going to be pretty much like turncoats to a degree. You see? It says, for instance, the crisis of the 3rd century, 235 to 284 CE, saw over 20 emperors in a 50-year span due to continual usurpations assassinated. Excuse me, let me read that again. It says, for instance, the crisis of the 3rd century, 235 to 284 CE, which this is before Constantine. You see, but you already did have Jake rulers at this time. All right, it says saw over 20 emperors in a 50-year span due to continual usurpations, assassinations, and civil wars. This period created deep divisions and weakened the empire's defenses against external threats. You see that? And America's known for having its military spread all over the damn place. They're spread all over the place, but in-house and internally, okay, they're lacking. You got a bunch of HOMOs in the military. You know, over here, the scriptures talk about how the mighty men of Babylon will be as women in that day, man. It says political corruption and betrayal. Corruption within the Roman government led to widespread mistrust. And when you go into the history of the Roman Empire, the Romans had their own degree of the CIA. I forgot what it was called. Um, SPQ. Oh, man, I can't remember. You know what? I'll type it in. I'll type it in here after this. It says powerful senators and officials often acted in self-interest, undermining the emperor's authority. The political climate grew more unstable as loyalty to the empire diminished, and you have a lot of people who do not have trust who don't have trust in this whole American system. Now you do have these whole "Make America Great Again," MAGA. We need to bring it back to old days. You do have these individuals and these Edomites that are still out there, but for the most part, man, the confidence here in America, people is very, very slim. And these people knowing they can feel that something big is getting ready to happen. So it says the political climate grew more unstable as loyalty to the empire diminished, leading to alliances with enemy forces or internal plots to gain power. And we just read that in 2nd Ezra the 15th chapter. Political turmoil with one trying to overthrow another to gain more power. By the 5th century, influential figures like Flavius Stilicho, who served under Emperor Honorius, were accused of betraying Rome by failing to defend it adequately against barbarian incursions. And eventually Rome fell from within. And then you had the barbarians that did come through and pretty much finished off the job. Social unrest and class divisions. Class conflict also fueled seditious sentiment. Economic inequality and higher taxation burdened the lower classes. And you always hear the talks about, we're going to raise taxes or we're going to I'm going to, lower taxes, or this person's actually going to raise taxes. And that's why when you talk to these people about the elections, the main thing they just mention, Donald Trump, why you voting for Donald Trump? He going to raise taxes. Why don't you vote for Kamala? She said she going to lower taxes. And at the end of the day, man, the scriptures say, man, the servant, let me get it real quick. The scripture say that the servant's going to be subject to the borrower. I think I spelled that right. To subject to the borrower or lender. Is it lender? Slocky, man. Hold up. Or is it? I know lender's in there. Here you go. Borrower is servant. I said subject. Okay. Proverbs 22:7. The rich ruleth over the poor. And who's really the rich, man? The rich are these elites, man. They're the ones that own everything. They're the ones that really got the money. You see, they're the ones that they have the gold and silver stashed up in vaults. You see, and they're multi-trillionaires, man. Really, all these people are everybody's poor when it's compared to their money. You see, but us as Israelites, man, we're really the ones that are supposed to be rich. As the scripture says the scripture says in Ecclesiastes, it says he seeth servants riding upon horses and kings walking upon the earth. That's talking about how we're in a low position and our enemies are placed over us. And we got to go to our enemies for the one of all things. So it doesn't matter who going to raise or lower taxes. When you being taxed, that means that you a fucking slave, man. That means that you in slavery, dummy. And how the hell you in the new covenant being taxed, by the way? Anyways, it says the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. You see, we're servants to those that lend to us, man. The scriptures talk about how we would have to we would have to buy buy wood, purchase water, or purchase our own wood. Dang, where's that scripture at, man? by nah, that's not it. Let me see something real quick. Scripture where we would have to buy our own water and wood. Yep, here we go. Lamentations 5 and 4. Let's get that real quick. Lamentation 5 and 4. All right. Lamentation 5 and 4 says, we have drunken our water for money. Our wood is sold unto us. You see that? Here it is. These are things that are naturally from the earth. Water and wood. These things are here in the earth, provided to us from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Trees, water. But here it is. We got to go to our enemy we got to buy water and purchase wood to be able to survive, man. And these are things that are naturally in the earth. The scripture says that the earth was made for our sakes. But these things are being taxed unto us, man. You know, it's a tax on all these different things, man. Verse 6, it says, we have given the hand to the Egyptians and to the Assyrians to be satisfied with bread. And who is the modern day Egyptian and the modern day Assyrian today? Esau. He's the modern day Egyptian and the modern day Assyrian ruling over us all over again. We have given the hand to the Egyptians and to the Assyrians to be satisfied with bread. Pretty much, you pretty much got to stick your hand out for bread to our enemy. You see, this is the society and time that we live in. Well, yeah, lower taxes. You being taxed at the end of the day, so you still in slavery. Okay, well, you got to vote for the lesser of two evils. Like you always hear that. Vote for the lesser of two evils. Complete madness, man. So let's read that again. It says, class conflict also fueled seditious sentiment. Economic inequality and higher taxation burdened the lower classes, who increasingly felt disconnected from the elite ruling class. Discontent with these social conditions sometimes led to local rebellions or support for usurpers promising reforms, contributing to a fracturing of the societal order that once bound Rome together. And that makes me think about how in Daniel, the 2nd chapter, it says that the feet will be with miry mixed with miry clay. Or iron mixed. Let me just get it real quick. Iron mixed with miry clay. The kingdom will be partly strong and partly broken. Okay? Let me see here real quick. Yeah, here we go. Daniel 2 and 41. It says, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. You see that? And the feet that it's talking about here, because you had the head of gold, the breast of silver, the loins of brass, the legs of iron, and the feet of iron mixed with clay. Let you know that iron mixed with clay would be the last major kingdom to rule. And the legs of iron, all right, was the Roman Empire. So the iron mixed with miry clay is the Roman Empire coming back, okay, through NATO and the EU. You see, America being at the forefront of it. You see, so this lets you know that when this kingdom will be intact, the next thing to come will be Yahushai's return. Which is why we see all things popping off the way that they're popping off right now, because Yahushua is getting ready to return and liberate his people, beginning with the elect. So it says, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it, you see, there's going to be in the feet and toes of potter's clay and part of iron, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron. What's that? The strength of the iron is talking about the Roman Empire, particularly their military might. You see, that old Roman way. That's why you can find so many connections and symbols of ancient Rome here in America. It says, "For as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay." Okay. It says, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. You see that? It's going to be partly strong, but it's also going to what? Be broken. When something's broken, it's divided. There's division there. Okay. It says, and whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, because they're going to spread themselves out, right? And mingle and mix amongst all the various different people, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. So eventually, as the iron can't be mixed with clay, there's going to be a division. There's going to be a divide. And this is what you see happening right now, because what's the next to come? And in the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom. So after the potter's clay and iron can't mix and mingle themselves together, after these things, the Most High will set up what? The kingdom of heaven. Let you know that what? Esau would be ruling in the iron mixed with miry clay. This will be Esau's rule, because after that is what? The beginning of it that follows is going to be Jacob. Okay? And in the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. And that's the kingdom of heaven, which is going to be on earth, okay? Where the Israelites underneath Yahushua and the 144,000 and the rest of the elect are going to rule. So at the end of the day, why vote? Why vote for a president? For you Israelites, why vote for a president for a system that's going to be destroyed? We're literally reading about America's destruction. We're reading about the fall of Esau Edom's power structure. We're reading it right here. So what's the point of voting what's the point of voting when it's going to be destroyed? Religious conflicts. It says, as Christianity spread, religious tensions also contributed to internal divisions. Pagan and Christian factions sometimes clashed. And these Christian and as Christianity spread, because you have the real Christians, the Mashiachim, which were the followers of Yahushua, okay, that was in Rome, and that actually spread and was pushing the gospel. But you also had what? You also had westernized Christianity that got pushed out of Constantinople, modern day Istanbul in Turkey, all right, by Constantine the Great, roughly around 325 AD, which was mixed with a lot of paganism, a whole lot of paganism. And that's where you get modern day Christianity today, rooted in the Council of Nicaea. And not everybody was with that. So it says pagan and Christian factions sometimes clashed, with political leaders manipulating religious loyalties. Let me read that again. Pagan and Christian factors sometimes clash with political leaders manipulating religious loyalties to consolidate power. And that's why amongst these Christian churches, you have these pastors who are set up. Some historians argue that these conflicts destabilize Roman unity, although others see them as secondary to the political and economic issues facing the empire. So yes, was there sedition amongst the Roman Empire before the fall of it? Absolutely. Now I have this last article. This is from naturalnews.com. It says, poll, most Americans are worried about about potential post-election violence. And that violence that they're worried about is going to be violence from civil unrest. Okay? It says the study conducted from October 11th to 14 among 1,072 registered voters revealed that 41% of respondents are extremely or very concerned, with another 35% feeling somewhat concerned about the possibility of unrest after Election Day. Notably, 42% of respondents are extremely concerned regarding increased political violence, specifically threats among political figures or election officials. The course of their, we just read it in 2 Ezra 15, the course of their action shall stand in what? Their power. And they're not going to regard their kings nor their princes. You see? That's why they made a movie called Purge Election Year. What do you think that's all about? Predictive programming, man. Among this group, 16% were extremely concerned and 25 were very concerned. Another 40% of participants were somewhat concerned about political violence, while 18% were not very or not at all concerned. So that's a division right there. Okay? And like I said, this is going to be the biggest controversial election of all time, I believe. And they want this civil unrest to ensue, so that ultimately they can usher in more of their draconian laws to bring forth that MOTB. 2025, hey man, 2025 is going to be a hell of a year, man. You know, you're going to have a lot more lockdowns, a lot more draconian things taking place, man. You see? So, you know, I just want to do a follow-up lesson. I pray it was edifying to the elect of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And I want to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Chakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders, a great millstone that taught us his truth, and much peace, love, and salutation to the elect. Until next time, I say shalom.